Hi, my name is Kelsey Mann, and I am the director on Inside Out 2.
And I'm Mark Nielsen, and I'm the producer on Inside Out 2.
We found something, I think, that was sequel worthy. That's the only reason why we would tell a story, is if we have a story worth telling.
You know, it was a profound movie, that first one, right? Just the simple message of embrace sadness was like, no one really thought about it that way. It was a new way of seeing sadness and engaging with that. And I think what we love about this film is we've got the chance to introduce new emotions and more complex emotions in this one. Ones that are a little more, you know, sometimes they make you feel bad, and that's part of their job. They're not as straight up as the first ones were. They're there to help Riley through these teenage years. So I think we've really got a subject matter in this film of anxiety in your life and how it can come on strong, and learning how to manage it, that we found to be like worth telling a story around.
I knew I wanted new emotions to show up. Anxiety rose to the top pretty quickly for me, as I'm like, oh, there's something here. Not only because I feel like it's something I could relate to, both now and also when I was that age. We had a lot. In the beginning, we had 8 other emotions show up with anxiety. I really wanted Joy to feel overwhelmed now that Riley's a teenager, and suddenly, you know, Joy's a little bit like a parent to Riley, right? So I can kind of feel that way as a parent too. Suddenly, you know, your kid's going through becoming a teenager, and it's hard to keep up with what's going on. I had Joy being overwhelmed, but I also overwhelmed the audience because there's too much to keep track of. And anxiety, you just kind of lost her in the crowd. We have to cut these emotions down and simplify. And so we took it down to 4. Ennui is actually a French term. More complex emotions are showing up. And we wanted Joy, who's been with Riley since she was a kid, to suddenly feel like she's out of her element and doesn't know what's going on. And so if we have a character that comes in, she's like, I don't even, what are you?
She's bilingual.
Yeah, she's bilingual. You know, ennui is definitely like this kind of like laid back, like, whatever.
It's similar
right?
to boredom is probably a similar emotion.
Yeah, totally. So we always saw her on a phone, and we're like, she could drive the console from the phone. That's super fun. So we totally leaned into that.
We've had theater screens in mind for this movie from the beginning, even back in development, because one of the first decisions you have to make on the film is what aspect ratio is the film going to be in. And we decided early on, and you want the story to drive that decision, and because it's about expanding Riley's world and her mind and big console, more emotions, it made sense to like have a wider aspect ratio than the first film. The first film was 1:8:5, and so we can take advantage of that screen space and use it in the storytelling of Joy having to traverse to the outer reaches of Riley's mind. I
wanted to, you know, treat this film as an original, you know? Even though it's a sequel, I still wanted to bring a sense of originality to it. And so I don't want to just do the same thing again. I want to be true to what the first film did, but I also want to deliver something that's unique and new. Is pretty cool and is very, you know, different from the first film. Everyone, we are so excited to be taking this movie to you, and you were able to see Inside Out 2.
See it in theaters on the biggest screen you can when it comes out in June.
Come on! Riley needs us. Have I ever steered you wrong before?
Many times.
What is that? It's the sarcasm!
Sarcasm? Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys!
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys!
Wow, those guys are jerks. Wow, those guys are jerks.